Today, we're going to talk about why all corporate jobs suck and why most jobs suck compared to sales. And, sales at the end of the day is a learned skill, guys. So, a lot of people, including myself back in the day, would have said their initial objection, no pun intended, would have been, oh, I'm not extroverted. I can't do sales. I'm just not like that. I need to crunch numbers. I'm not, I'm just not good at sales. It's a learned skill, guys. I used to be third in the world in Call of Duty. Okay. I was borderline autistic from fucking being third in the world in Call of Duty. Okay. So if I could learn this shit, social anxiety back in the day from, you know, fucking being a video game third in the world person. So if I could do this shit, you could do it too. So hopping into the substance of the video right now, I used to have intense pre-call anxiety. Now, what is pre-call anxiety? It's exactly what you think it is. Before, early in my sales career, before I had meetings on my calendar, leading up to these meetings, especially higher stakes meetings, I would just have extreme fucking anxiety just talking to people, even on the phone. I've had in person sales roles, which really help with social skills, getting over the anxiety, just overall social and charisma. But then I've had remote sales roles as well, and I'd be nervous as fuck. And this happened for years and years and years. And I pushed through it and I started doing a good job. And there was a senior vice president at my company. He just retired. I had to work very closely with this guy in sales, and we were on calls together. And he made a joke once, but he's being serious. He like 2 weeks away from retirement, we had a big call, and he goes, "Man," he said, "the pre-call anxiety never really goes away, even this deep into my career, man. Sometimes it still creeps up on me." And that shows you right there. Even this guy that was highly successful, fucking in his 60s, just about to retire, senior vice president, he still fucking got it based on the, you know, certain meetings, negotiations, deep in a process, high stakes sales. And so, it's normal. And it just kind of like with cold approaching, right? And talking to hot chicks and getting desensitized to it, you get desensitized and more confident, the more calls and the more deals you close and notches you get under your belt, just like chicks you bang in bed, right? So guys, trust me, you'll be able to overcome this. I'm introverted as fuck. As you could tell from these videos, I like people. I have an active social life, but at the end of the day, or let me rephrase that. I have an active social life and I hang out with people, but at the end of the day, I don't really like humans that much. I'll be fucking honest with you guys. So I'm introverted as fuck. The most peace I have is when I'm alone. The root of all my stress in life is other people, and it's been that way for years. So trust me, if I'm introverted as shit, if I could do sales, you could do it too. Go Google online, go to ChatGPT. Some of the best sales reps actually are introverted. They're more analytical, logical, and I'm not a big believer in sales and all that. Hey, the small talk. Hey, how was your weekend? No way, my brother went to Notre Dame. No way, my brother went to Georgetown. No way, dude. We have so much in common. You just see the game yesterday. They know that you're trying to sell them. Something about me is I just get straight down to fucking business. And I've had managers tell me, hey, you shouldn't do that, but it works, and I'm a top performer. So again, guys, the reason why I'm going to hop into the bulk of the video right now. So listen very closely. The reason why sales is better than any other corporate job, and other corporate jobs suck compared to sales. Obviously, you could guess one of the reasons right now. It's uncapped commissions, or commissions in general. It's the ability to get in what you put out, to right? It's to have direct control over your income, right? And, if I worked a job like HR, accounting, finance, basically any other thing where I have a salary and I know that that's my salary, I might get a little bit of a bonus, but at the end of the day, my salary is what I'm making. I would be a fucking corporate wage NPC slave to the Matrix robot. And I would be like, dude, this fucking sucks. No matter how much I work, I just make my base salary pretty much, no matter what. If that was the case, if I knew I was only going to make 90 grand a year, or even 120 a year, right? I was just going to make my base, crunching numbers like a robot. My goal would be to do the least amount possible, to do the worst quality work that's acceptable to keep the job. I would have no fucking motivation to go above and beyond and to bust my ass, right? Because what's the goal, right? If I'm in roles like HR and accounting and finance, right? You can't really differentiate yourself from your peers. You're just a number cruncher. You do GLs, credits and debits, fucking administrative shit, and you're, oh, this guy's so much better. Well, oh well, the worst guy on your team still made the same amount of fucking money as you. Where in sales, right? That's another big reason sales is better than other jobs is extreme differentiation. It's cut and dry. How much revenue have you brought to the company? How many deals have you closed? And you could differentiate yourself and be more valuable right there. Hey, I'm the top sales rep of this company. I should get more money. I should get better accounts. I should, or put it on your resume, right? It's easier to differentiate yourself. You're in control of your income. And moving on to the next reason why is it's a quicker way to potentially escape the matrix and get out of soul sucking corporate America, NPC robot land. So, let's say you fucking crush it and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in commissions and investing it and putting it in IRAs and 401ks and Bitcoin and shit like that, right? You could retire way earlier than being a wage slave. Just work. I work in HR, I work in accounting, and I make the same shit year over year over year. You're going to be the NPC that works to 55 to 65, right? You have no control over maybe knocking it out of the park some years, right? And making 800K in one year, right? Sales is very cyclical up and down. There's an element of luck and everything. So some years you won't make too much, and some years you'll make 800K and you'll fucking knock it out of the park, right? And those massive years make up for any other shitty years you've had in the past. So, guys, moving on to um, the next reason why is sales is one of the most important functions within a company. I think it's more important than accounting, more important than finance, more important than HR, more important than IT, more important than all this bullshit. Because if you're not growing, if a company isn't scaling and growing, and the CEOs and senior executives know this, the board knows this, if you're not growing, you're dying. So they really, really, really value sales reps. And again, they could see right away on the dashboard, on a report, who's our best sales rep at this company. And if you're one of the best sales reps, you're going to always have a job. Every company needs sales, every company. And if you have an incredible resume like me, you'll never be struggling to find work, and you're going to be a hot commodity in the job market and at your company. And guys, so, this was a pretty quick video, but ultimately, those are the reasons why sales is better than any other fucking profession out there. Okay. It's a learned skill. You could watch videos, you could study it, you could get over the anxiety. And after many, many, many years, it's increased my confidence tenfold, my wallet, um, 2000x. It's increased my charisma. It's my social anxiety before calls is very lowered. I could present to high stakes deals with 50 people on the line and not really even be that nervous at all anymore. And again, I used to just be on a one-on-one call early in the sales cycle and be fucking nervous as shit, fucking jittering, my heart running early in my career because I didn't really know what I was doing, right? I wasn't as seasoned as I am now and don't have as many notches under my belt. And also, you're going to realize sales and negotiation and charisma and social skills and strategic communication works with the ladies. Dating is essentially sales at the end of the day. It's qualifying the girl, it's positioning yourself to the girl, it's sealing the deal, assuming the close. Hey, I had a great time. How about we go back to my place, have a glass of wine, that's close. That's going for the close. You can go for a soft close, a trial close. So guys, HR is not going to help you that bullshit, with women and with relationships and friendships and stuff in the real world and communication. So, guys, I really urge you to get into sales. And yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you as always in the next video.